Here is a few things that we can do if we elect Bernie Sanders, who will actually fight for these things instead of just talking about them. He'll actually fight. He doesn't owe anyone but us because he has not sold out. He can actually get there, and he can actually fight for criminal justice reform so that African Americans and other minorities aren't unfairly targeted by the police, who have become highly militarized, who go into our communities and antagonize us and fine us and arrest us, and they just do whatever. They treat us like cattle because they want to make as much profit off of us as possible. So, they throw us in jail for using drugs at the same rate as other ethnicities and races, and we get longer sentences for it. It's terrible. So we need criminal justice reform in the United States. True healthcare reform. Obamacare is a nice, gesture. It's a good attempt. But we need to take away power from the insurance companies instead of empowering the insurance companies. We need to just get rid of insurance company by making all of healthcare something that every American citizen pays for in their taxes, that goes into a pool. There's not any costs that are associated with paying for some bureaucracy. All of the money goes into one pot, and then that pot is not touched. There are no other fees associated with it. All right. Everyone in America gets healthcare as a right. Then the cost of healthcare can come down, and everyone can be insured. That's true healthcare. Single payer healthcare system where everyone has healthcare. And do the same thing with education. Get high quality teachers, pay them more, and in grade school. All right. And then make all public colleges free so that everyone has an opportunity to compete in the global market. I don't understand how it's not a good thing to have every American citizen be able to compete with kids in China and India and Scandinavia and Great Britain and Canada, and we're being outcompeted by these other countries who have the ability to educate their children properly and on a mass scale, and we're failing. So we need to do that. Immigration reform. There's a lot of very smart, very talented, very deserving people who should have the ability to move up in the world, but are not being afforded those opportunities because they have a status of being illegal, or being someone who came here as a child, or a parent of someone who came here as a child, who or a parent of a citizen. They can't go off and provide for their families or move up in their life because they're being stifled by the fact that the federal government has not done anything about immigration for these people. We need to have a path for citizenship for these people. We need to fix this immigration system, which I hear is incredibly broken. We need to do something about our crumbling infrastructure. We can't expect to have the best businesses. We can't expect to have the best companies if the environment that we live in is a total piece of crap. If we can't hardly drive down the street without running over 6 potholes and getting a flat tire, if we can't get from point A to B because we don't have public transportation on the scale and efficiency enough in order to provide for people who can't afford vehicles of their own, we need to do something about bridges collapsing. We need to do something about road sinkholes. A sinkhole killed a guy a few years ago, sucked him into the ground. He was sitting in his house and it just broke open and sucked him straight into hell. We need to do something about that. Climate change. Oh my God, we need to do something about the drought in California right now is so bad. Like over 21 fires burning right now. The whole state is on fire, and there's not water. There's not water anywhere for the eye to see, and they live on the coast, and they're dry. It's turning into the desertification of the American West. It is devastating on the people who live there, not just the plants and animals in the environment, but the people. Grass is going brown. They have to spray paint the grass green in order for it to look green because they can't afford water. I mean, is this America? I don't know. These are some of the things that we would be able to focus on if we could just stop allowing progress to be blocked by people who are profiting from the situation as is. These oil companies want to continue to be unregulated, make as much money as possible. So they don't want to hear about climate change because that affects their bottom dollar. And they're record-breaking profits. So as far as I'm concerned, we're not killing jobs. We're killing their profits in order not to kill the plants and animals and the trees and the clean water and the air that we need in order to live. And I have no sympathy for you, super rich guy. I mean, too bad. We can just 35. You don't need 37 Maybachs. Maybe 35 will suffice. I don't know. Bernie Sanders for president. We need someone who's going to represent the will of the people.